Good morning. Welcome along to the Racing TV studios this Thursday, just for a moment at least, because we're going to be heading live to the Downs ahead of the Derby Festival, which starts tomorrow with the Oaks, and then the big one itself, the Betfred Derby, 1:30, not to be forgotten, on Saturday. The reason we're coming on this morning is to bring you the draw and where those 14 colts are going to be birthed at the start of the famous 1 mile 4 race. 14 have been declared. Let's have a look at the runners. They came through a few moments ago. Adelaide River, one of a few in there for Aidan O'Brien, who bids to extend his record. He's already the winning most trader in the history of the race with 8. He's got 3. Adelaide River is the first of them on the list. Arrest, the final Derby ride for Frankie Dettori after Authorised and Golden Horn. He bids for 3. Artistic Star, Rafe Becker, August Rodin. The main hope, it would seem, for Aidan O'Brien, but has got to atone for what happened at Newmarket last time. Dear My Friend, Charlie Johnson, along with Dubai Mile, also for the same trainer. King of Steel, haven't seen so much of, now with Roger Varian. Military Order bids to emulate his full brother Adiyar, 2 years on from that horse winning the Derby. Military Order bids to win it in 2023. Passenger, the late entry, the supplementary entry in the race. Unlucky at York's Antonino. The other horse in the race for Aidan O'Brien, the third of his 3. Spreewell, Jessica Harrington. The Foxes, the Dante winner, Andrew Balding. Waipiro, Ed Walker. And White Birch, John Joseph Murphy. They are the 14 who've been declared. But where are they going to be coming from when the gates crash open? Let's go across to Nick Love. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. A cool grey morning here on the Downs, but no sign of any rain, and nor is there any in the forecast. Clerk of the course, Andrew Cooper, will be joining me very shortly. But first, we must perform the draw for the 2023 Betfred Derby. Race first run in 1780. Stalls were introduced in 1967. If the full field of 14 stand their ground on Saturday afternoon, it'll be the 4th time that 14 runners have taken their chance in the blue riband. Previously, North Light beat a field of 14 in 2004. He came out of stall 6. Kayazi in 1988 was drawn 13 of 14, and Slip Anchor in 1985 was drawn 3 of 14. 6 out of the last 10 winners of the Betfred Derby have been drawn in stalls with double figures, and of the last 20 derbies, 14 have been drawn in the top half numerically. The chairman of Epsom Downs Racecourse, Brian Finch, is here to perform the draw ceremony alongside his daughter Brianna. Brian, good morning. Chilly morning, but we are looking forward to a great weekend.
A little busy on the site today, but yeah, good morning, Nick, and excited to see what we come up with today.
And we know, before we start the draw, that Epsom has been posed with a lot of unusual challenges this week. We've talked an awful lot about the likelihood of protests on Saturday. We know that this is a race that now has to be run at 1:30 because of the Cup final. But is there enough to encourage you that this will still be a great sporting occasion?
I promise you, Nick, we've got so much lined up on the hill for starters. There'll be a lot of activity there for anybody that's coming. And on the stands, we pretty full. Lots of space still, but pretty full. So there'll be a great occasion. I think it'll be tremendous, and we've got a great field as well. Ultimately, we're here for the racing, and I'm quite excited by the cards we have, and it'll be a good spectacle over the 2 days.
I spoke to your chief executive, the Jockey Club, Nevin Truesdale, yesterday. He was encouraging people to come racing. Don't be deterred. Come racing. There is still room to the hill, to the grandstand, anywhere you like.
Absolutely. I took a walk around here yesterday, as was Nevin, and it's still a bit of a building site. It'll be done by close of play today, but there'll be a lot of activity happening here. So please, anybody who wants to rock up on the day, please do so. You'll enjoy it. It'll be worthwhile.
Your daughter Brianna with you. Brianna, great to see you here. I know I see you quite regularly at the races. You're a big fan, aren't you?
I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a lovely day out, and I love being here to support my dad. So yeah.
And I know, Brian, that you're very keen to get as many younger people to the races as possible.
Absolutely, Nick. The sport needs that. We all got hooked by this wonderful, fascinating sport as kids, and that's our job now, to make sure that the next generation get a chance to experience what we've experienced and grow to love it and cherish it like we do.
Well, against the gentle hum of nails being hammered and leaf blowers and drills and commentary tests, we're going to perform the draw for the Betfred Derby. So we will kick off then, Brian. I've got to say that Rob Sage, our adjudicator from the British Horse Racing Authority, is here just to make sure everything is done properly. The 14 names are in Brian's drum and the 14 numbers are in Brianna's drum. It's very straightforward. I'll be giving you some draw statistics along the way, but Brian, I'll let you kick off with the first horse.
I'll give this a little spin. So it's all done.
Beautifully done.
Yeah.
Proper pro.
And I'll start here. Horse number 5.
Okay, horse number 5 is Dear My Friend. Now, Dear My Friend is one of 2 runners in the race for Charlie Johnston, the only other person, aside from Aidan O'Brien, with multiple runners in this year's race, and his father Mark was second in the race with DXB. Dear My Friend, then, Brianna, will come out of which stall?
Look away.
Number 1.
Dear My Friend gets the inside berth. Habitually considered not an advantage, but Adayar bucked the trend in 2021, and prior to that, Oath was successful from stall 1 in 1999 under that brilliant ride from Kieran Fallon.
All right, give that a go. Haha, number 2.
Number 2 is John Gosden's Arrest. Arrest is number 2 by Frankel. Frankel already successful with Adayar, and John Gosden successful with Benny the Dip in 97, and of course with Golden Horn in 2015. Frankie Dettori in his valedictory year, seeking his own 3rd Derby victory. Brianna, Arrest will come from stall
13.
Stall 13. 1 from the outside for Arrest. Stall 13 has not been successful for an awful long time. Indeed, the last time stall 13 was successful was also in a 14-runner field. That was Kayazi's Derby in 1988. Brian.
Oh, Frankie.
Juddmonte Farms, who own Arrest, incidentally, successful with Workforce and Commander-in-Chief and Quest for Fame.
Horse number 8.
Horse number 8 is Military Order. Military Order is the full brother to Adayar, the winner of the race 2 years ago. Full brothers last successful at the turn of the previous century. So Godolphin's Military Order, another one by Frankel,
Stall number 9.
will come from stall number 9. Military Order from stall number 9. Last successful High Chaparral in 2002. Stall 9. Charlie Appleby looking for his 3rd Derby after Massar and this horse's brother Adayar.
I have got horse number 10.
Horse number 10 is San Antonio, one of 3 in the race for Aidan O'Brien, who seeks his 9th Derby victory. He's already a record breaker. San Antonio will either be ridden by Wayne Lorden or by Shamie Heffernan. We're not sure as yet, but San Antonio will come from stall
12.
12 for San Antonio. Stall 12, last successful last year with Desert Crown, and 3 years ago with Serpentine, a big outsider for Ballydoyle. Could San Antonio do the same thing? By Dubawi.
Horse number 3.
Horse number 3 is Artistic Star. Artistic Star is trained by Rafe Beckett, who saddled Westover to finish 3rd in the race last year, and owned by Jeff Smith, whose Norse Dancer was 4th in the race back in 2003. Artistic Star will be ridden by Rob Hornby, who also rode Westover to that luckless 3rd last year. Westover reappears in tomorrow's Dalbury Coronation Cup.
Stall number 8.
Stall number 8 for Artistic Star. Coolmore bred, now Jeff Smith owned. Stall 8 was last successful with Workforce back in 2010, who at the time broke the track record.
Horse number 11.
Horse number 11 is Spreewell. Spreewell, Jessica Harrington bidding to become the first woman ever to train the winner of the Derby. And Spreewell will be ridden by Shane Foley.
Stall number 6.
Stall number 6 for Spreewell, for Jessica Harrington and Shane Foley. Stall number 6 was last successful in North Lights year 2014 when there were also 14 runners.
I'll give that a spin, Nick, I think. There we go.
Going well here, Brian.
Yeah. Horse number 9.
Horse number 9 is Passenger. Horse number 9 is Passenger for last year's winning team of Richard Kingscote, Sir Michael Stout. The Niarchos family have never won the Derby, closest with Law Society behind Slip Anchor in 1985. Passenger's just had the 2 runs like last year's winner, Desert Crown.
Stall number 7.
Stall number 7 for Passenger. Looks a nice draw for Passenger. Stall number 7 was last successful with Anthony Van Dyke back in 2019.
Right, so this we go. Horse number 7.
Horse number 7 is King of Steel. King of Steel for Roger Varian. First run for Roger since leaving Dave Lockdown. For Ammo Racing, who was second in the race with Mojo Star 2 years ago. Brianna.
Running out of stall number 4.
Stall number 4. Stall number 4 for the giant King of Steel, son of Wootton Bassett. Stall 4 last successful with the Great See the Stars in 2009. Brian?
Horse number 6.
Horse number 6 is Dubai Mile, another one for Charlie Johnston. Dubai Mile runs in the colours of Ahmad Al Sheikh, who's been second in the race with Khalifa Sat and also with Hu Yamal. Loves a runner in the Derby. Could this be his chance? Son of Roaring Lion, who also has Running Lion in tomorrow's Betfred Oaks. Where will Dubai Mile be coming from?
Stall number 5.
Stall number 5. Camelot emerged from stall 5 to win in 2012. Charlie Johnston's father, Mark, never successful in the Derby, but had DXB finish an excellent second.
Horse number 4.
Horse number 4 is Auguste Rodin, the favourite for the race by Deep Impact out of Rhododendron for Aidan O'Brien, seeking a 9th victory in the race. Ryan Moore looking for a 3rd win after Workforce and Ruler of the World. It's 10 years since that Derby win on Ruler of the World.
Stall number 10.
Stall number 10. Stall number 10 it is for Auguste Rodin to the outside. Massar came from stall 10. So did Ruler of the World. So did Sir Percy. So did the Great Galileo. So did Generous Quest for Fame, Nash One, Reference Point, Sharistani and the Minstrel. Stall 10's not been a bad gate.
I think they'll be pretty happy with that.
I think they will. All right, Auguste Rodin gets stall 10. Aidan O'Brien looking for a 9th success in the Derby.
Horse number 12.
Horse number 12 is the Foxes. Horse number 12 is the Foxes for Andrew Balding, who has been second in the race himself, including last year when he also saddled the 4th. The Foxes owned by King Power Racing, ridden by Oisin Murphy.
Stall number 3.
Stall number 3 for the Foxes, the Dante Stakes winner, gets stall number 3. Stall number 3 was last successful with New Approach back in 2008 under that daredevil ride from Kevin Manning. And last year's winner, Desert Crown, also took the Derby Dante route.
Horse number 1.
Horse number 1 is Adelaide River, another one for Aidan O'Brien by Australia, the winner of the race in 2014, either ridden by Shamie Heffernan or by Wayne Lorden. Heffernan successful on Anthony Van Dyke in 2019. Brianna.
Stall 14.
Stall 14, the outside for Adelaide River. So the 2nd and 3rd strings for Ballydoyle in 12 and 14 and the 1st string in 10. So Ballydoyle all to the outside here.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, and I'm sure race tactics, as always, will play its part in this race. It just makes for a fascinating race, I think, Nick.
It certainly does, Brian. You've got a couple more to draw. One of those is
horse number 13.
13 is Waipiro for Ed Walker, who had the favourite for the race in English King a couple of years back. This one another by the 2014 winner, Australia. Waipiro will be ridden by Tom Marquand.
In stall 11.
Who has been second in the race on Khalifa Sat. Will come from stall 11, Waipiro, in the colours of Mr. Xu, who's also campaigned the half-brother Waikuku very successfully in Hong Kong.
It's an empty bin. The last horse, horse number 14.
Horse number 14 is White Birch in the colours of Chantal Regalado Gonzalez, whose qualifier won the Oaks a few years ago at 50 to 1. This one by Ulysses, who ran in the Derby and is also the sire of Passenger. John Joseph Murphy with his first Derby runner.
Stall number 2.
And stall number 2 for White Birch, which has never been successful in this race. But trends are there to be bucked, and that completes the draw for the Betfred Derby 2023. I am just looking at Rob Sage from the BHA. He's given the thumbs up. Are you happy, Chairman?
Thrilled, delighted. I think we've got a fascinating race coming, Nick, and can't wait for Saturday.
Excellent. Brianna, thank you very much. You looking forward to the weekend?
Very excited. It's going to be a wonderful 2 days of racing.
Fantastic. And in a moment, we will be speaking to the clerk of the course, Andrew Cooper, to get his assessment on how the ground might play. But first of all, let's head back to Nick with confirmation of where your fancy comes from in the 2023 Betfred Derby.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Enjoyable morning as ever. Let's make it official, the BHA there to oversee. Thank you indeed to Brian and his daughter. Big weekend at Epsom. Let's confirm for you the declarations we brought you earlier. Allied to their now post position. Dear My Friends is to come out of 1. We've just talked about White Birch's berth in 2, which isn't ideal. The Dante winner, the Fox, is out of 3. King of Steel, 4. Dubai Mile out of 5. Spreewell is out of 6. Anthony Van Dyke, the last winner to come out of 7. That was back in 2019. Might the Supplemented Passenger come out of that draw and win 4 years on? 85,000 the supplementary fee. Artistic Star is to break from stall 8. Military Order is going to be coming out at 9. That's the same stall that Harzand came out of back in 2016. They've touched on the fact that 10 has been so significant. Most recently, Massar in 2018. And 10 years ago, Ruler of the World. And it's that horse's trainer who's got August Rodin, one of history in the race. And August Rodin is out of 10. Waipiro will come out of 11. 12's been the vogue stall of recent years. Australia in 2014, Serpentine in 2020, and Desert Crown last year all came out of 12. It's San Antonio who'll come out of 12 this time. Arrest out of 13, and Adelaide out of 14. Adelaide River, I should say. So they are the 14 for you going forward for 1:30 on Saturday. It's been challenging enough a couple of weeks, though, with the weather in mind. So with a view to that, let's get back to Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, Andrew Cooper is alongside me. We're sort of huddled up here because it's barely getting out of double figures, but there's no sign of any rain around.
There's no sign of any rain as far as this race meeting is concerned. And I think you look ahead to the next sort of 10 days, fortnight, I can't see any rain in that period.
So does that actually make life easier for you? Because at least you know it's dry, so you're not going to have to worry about the watering. You get the water you need on.
Yeah, but we do worry about the watering because I'd say it's been an interesting build-up, this, and I think it's one of these ones where you could easily overdo the watering. You could very easily underdo the watering because we're just not in normal sort of midsummer, hot day, drying conditions when you sort of know exactly how a course is going to dry out. It's been a curious build-up, if I'm honest.
Is that because it's cold, so therefore you're not getting, I'm going to use your favourite word, the evapotranspiration? You're not getting the loss of water that you would anticipate on a daily basis?
No, you're not. I mean, we're sort of losing about 2.5 to 3 millimetres a day here at the moment, depending when the sun comes out, as it will today, we believe, from sort of early afternoon onwards. And yeah, I mean, the consistency of the day, they've been like that sort of all week. We've been dry here since May the 12th, I think, was the last time we recorded any rain here, other than a completely unexpected little bit of drizzle yesterday morning, which measured nothing. But but it's been a difficult spring, actually, and I think the tracks, it's in good condition, but I don't think if we're being sort of critical about in terms of presentation and how it looks, I think it's shown that it's been a tricky spring, actually. I think it was in great nick for the spring meeting. But particularly this dry spell later on, even with our sort of usual and timing of fertiliser applications and all that, it's a nice racing surface, but it's sort of in terms of its vibrancy.
The perfectionist in you wants it to look a little greener and lusher.
Little greener and lusher. As I say, grass cover's fine. It looks better in sunshine than it does on a dull morning like this.
You know horses are colourblind. They don't mind, as long as you provide a safe, sound, even racing surface.
Absolutely. And no, I agree. And funnily enough, we were the team walking it at 6 this morning. We said that. At the end of the day, we're being critical, saying, oh, that doesn't look correct. But what really matters is what the horse is feeling underneath.
OK, so we're talking about top-of-the-ground horses, aren't we, when all is said and done?
Well, I think Saturday's that way. I mean, I think the ground here at the moment, you walking this morning, you're just about still called good, I think, in flat racing terms. Little bit tighter in places. We're expecting a dry, well, certainly dry, but a sort of warm afternoon and a similar sort of day tomorrow. I mean, I don't think, as I say, we always try and have to sort of work backwards, I think, with Saturday's ground here a little bit to some degree, because if you really started tomorrow on good to firm on a warm afternoon, you're going to be sort of good to firm in places here, sort of overnight, unless you start trying to do something with it. So it is tricky, and I know it's an extremely emotive subject, but I think we try and do the best we can. And as you say, I think an even, consistent surface is what you're hoping to provide. But I wouldn't necessarily say, as we speak, sort of top of the ground. I think it'll sort of be getting to that as the meeting progresses, and as we get closer to it. But it's got to just dry a fraction to that from where it is now.
Okay, and that is because you're on downland turf, you're up and down, you're undulating. You can't prepare a racecourse like this as you could a Doncaster, a York, a Newbury, a Pan flat track.
No, or even a Sandown, to be fair. I mean, I think certainly something like the hill, the downhill section of the hill, we really have a sort of unwritten rule that we don't water that almost within 48 hours of the meeting.
Otherwise it's too slippery.
Or slippery, or just rides well for a couple of races and then chops up because it just had the sort of irrigation hasn't sort of had a chance to settle down and penetrate. So we're careful there in terms of the lateness that you'd go with any watering. Although you try and get a decent amount into it early, so it isn't fast or firm, because obviously clearly it is the downhill section of the course.
Andrew, best of luck for the weekend. I know there are challenges ahead. Fingers crossed for an excellent weekend weather-wise and a trouble-free one in all other respects.
Thanks, Nick.
Andrew Cooper, the clerk of the course here at Epsom Downs. Nick, it is back to you. That is our job done for today. Just confirmation that 14 horses have been declared for the Derby. And just reading them out again, Dear My Friend in stall 1, White Birch in 2, The Foxes in 3, King of Steel in 4, Dubai Mile in 5, Spreewell in 6, Passenger in 7 for last year's Winning Connections, Artistic Star in stall 8, Military Order in stall 9, and then really it's Ballydoyle all the way out, to be honest with you, with August Rodin drawing stall 10, Waipiro for Ed Walker in 11, then the Ballydoyle second string San Antonio in 12, Arrest in 13, Adelaide River in 14. That is the Betfred Derby 2023, back here on the Downs bright and early tomorrow. Nick, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Nick. Looking forward to Oaks Day tomorrow. The Derby itself will be running around about 50 hours' time. 1:30 on Saturday. You won't miss a beat on Racing TV. Those are the 14 horses declared with their post position as well. We'll see. August Rodin, can he atone for what happened when a hot favourite in the 2,000 guineas last time? The Triple Crown dream is out of the window, but maybe, just maybe, he'll be winning one of the most famous races, for many, the most famous race that there is, come 1:30 on Saturday. We're going to leave you for a couple of hours. The main show will be back at 1:30. We've got racing from Roscommon, and later on this evening, Fairyhouse Market Racing and Carlisle. So a bit of a feast this Thursday to look forward to. But for a couple of hours, we'll see you a little bit later.